as you were making your way through the wastes of Avernus. All of this in service, of course, to finding the Sword of Zariel, the item that Lulu believes deep down in her cute little soul that is the key to returning Elturel back to the Prime Material Plane, but also potentially for Lulu saving Zariel. Now, there's a few different things that you all had to take care of towards that goal. Lots of different favors that needed to be done for various different individuals. But you did say or return Uldrak the Titan back to his former glory, transforming him back into a Empyrean from his spine devil curse that was on him, and taking his blood back to Ralzala, concluding the deal with her so that she would allow you to free the unicorn Mooncolor at the Demon's Aber. You all took care of all of that. Mooncolor was extremely grateful, bestowed upon you all a wondrous gift, and then departed back to her own plane of existence, back to her circle. You all then...
What did she give us again?
Was that? She
What's
gave
the
you
gift again?
some charms, didn't she?
Yeah, Charm of Restoration.
Right, she bestowed upon each of you a
Oh,
charm
right,
of restoration.
right.
Alright, and then after concluding with that, you were all set to make your way to Bel's Forge. Bel, of course, being the pit fiend who is technically second in command of Avernus, directly behind Zariel. You also figured out that this individual is the number one opposition to Zariel. And along with a gift from another major player, the Dragon Queen Tiamat, along with a gift from Tiamat, you also have a kind of a letter of marque, a seal that the Dao Ralzala was able to create for you to present to Bel and his minions to get you an audience with him. Now, with that in hand and the gift from Tiamat, you are all prepared to make your way over to Bel's Forge. You have solid directions on how to get there, or as close to solid directions on how to get there as you can have in a place like this. But with that, after leaving the newly sprouted and newly gone tree that you all just brought up out of a magic bean, you want to make your way across the plains of Avernus once more, on the way to Bel's Forge this time. All right, everyone. So, making your way out across the plains of Avernus, now level 10. What are y'all doing? Driving around in sprinkles. Anybody up to anything specific?
I am working on finishing getting Vitriolic Sphere into my spell book.
Nice, yeah.
I am also casting Identify on a green magical fruit that I have.
Okay. That I do have notes of.
You had a number for that one, right?
Actually, I was not given a number for that one. I was just told that it was special.
Yep. And those I do, in fact, have written down somewhere. Magic fruits. Okay, yep. Okay. So, casting Identify on that fruit, Valifon, as you're making your way across the plains. Thumping along in the back of Sprinkles, doing your best to concentrate and get the work done. You do find out that green fruit has a property specifically designed for those who wield blades. Once you consume this fruit, your proficiency bonus will be doubled with bladed weapons for 1 minute.
Ooh.
Sweet.
Now,
Anna doesn't have... I was just gonna say, Anna doesn't have Identify, but she will, like, put her apple, number 39, on a table and stare at it for 1 hour. See what she figures out.
I will offer to cast Identify on said apple.
If she doesn't figure it out after an hour, she'll come to you.
Okay. So as these items are not attunement, An hour goes by as you're rumbling across the plains, and Anna is still just staring at that fruit.
Okay, she reluctantly puts it in his hand.
All right. So. Okay.
Number 39.
39. Double checking against the information that I have.
It's pink.
Okay, yeah. Anna, once you eat that fruit, you will essentially be locked into a sort of stasis. You aren't physically altered in any way. You aren't turned to stone or adamantine or anything like that. Essentially, a impenetrable wall of force appears directly out just over your skin. Makes it so that you are unable to take damage of any variety, but you also cannot move, hear, or interact with anything beyond this force field. It's essentially like a stasis that covers your body. Freezes the user in stasis that makes them immune to damage, but they cannot move or act. This effect lasts for 1 round.
Oh. And it's an action to eat.
Yes.
Okay, so it does basically nothing. That's unfortunate.
It can be useful.
I was going to say like, I was going to say I could feed it to like Ghost or something, but like if it lasts for 6 seconds, it's not going to do very much.
Yeah, but if you're expecting a dragon to breathe on you, eating it, he breathes, nothing happens to you, then the next round you're good to go.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff I could do like that that would like basically let me be fine. Like I could I guess.
We could have it last for 1 minute. The list that I'm looking at does not specify. I honestly didn't see the value in something that would make you immobile for an entire like minute or two, but we could make it a minute if you want to use it that way.
Yeah, I would like rather like feed it to Ghost or something.
Okay. Yeah, we can call it a minute.
All right.
We could even call it an hour if you're willing to have it not reversible for that hour.
Just accidentally take a bite out of it, and my pile of other apples just becomes stuck for a day, a week, even. No.
So yeah, why don't we say this? If you take a bite out of it, it is 1 minute. If you consume the entire apple at once, it is 1 hour. We'll say that it'll have 3 bites if you do it one at a time. But once you take the first bite out of it, you can't do the full hour.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. We'll just mess around with it as it comes up. If you think of a weird, unique way to use it, just let me know and we'll figure something out. Okay. And Kroll, have you found out the effects of all of yours yet?
I just know the one that I ate.
Okay.
I will offer to cast Identify on them.
I will gladly accept.
Okay. So, Kroll, I see here that you have 3 fruits on you.
Yes.
And
one of them, I hate somebody extremely bad.
Okay.
So that's the one.
That's the one that you already know. Perfect. So the other one, once consumed, the person who consumed it cannot lie for 1 hour. Physically incapable of telling a lie for 1 hour.
We should make that into applesauce or something. Feed it to someone.
The last one, Kroll, is you gain 50 temporary HP. This effect does not expire.
Nice.
Sweet.
So
50 temp HP.
I just realized Anna's, I think her double speed, it lasted. Yeah, that lasted for 1 hour. So that 1 hour of her sitting there was like 2 times as long for her.
Twice as much stuff got done.
Twice as much stuff didn't
Speaking
get done.
of that, Anna, what's your training with Ghost? How's that going?
Preschool teacher Lulu has been dealing with most of it, but uh, so yeah, I imagine he can probably, I don't know, read basic common, by now.
Nice.
Um,
For
what
some
else?
reason, I imagine him wearing one of those little helicopter hats while he's in school, just while he's like actively in lesson though. I don't know why.
Oh, no. That's great. I'm trying to think of what else they could have been doing. He already has a couple saddles on him that he carries around, so I guess he'd be getting better at using the saddle.
Okay. All right. So with the addition of your speed apple, definitely had a lot more time to help Ghost out. So we already did mechanically getting him to sentience. Are we handling mechanically him learning at all, or is that mostly just him learning basic stuff from Lulu?
He's just learning like basic stuff. Like it's implied you already learn how to read by learning common, but like
Right.
I think it's funnier for him to like have like an ABC chart.
Right. I'm trying to see if there's anything that we can do that you could have taught him during the time with your double speed apple.
I'm fine with it being basically nothing.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, tell him like stories or something from her life.
Nice. Okay. And then Bill has one that he hasn't eaten yet. Valthon will go ahead and, if you would like to, let you cast Identify on that one as well.
Sure.
So, Bill's fruit gives him a skill in a particular. It gives him proficiency in a skill or tool of his choice for 1 hour. So, any skill or tool of his choice, he gains proficiency for 1 hour.
That reminds me of the Astral Elf ability.
Yeah, or the Phantom Rogue also has that. Whispers of the Dead or something.
It made me think of the trance ability that all elves have now, because all elves can do like the tool thing every long rest.
Oh, is that's all elves? That's not okay. I saw that on the Astral Elf because I was looking at Astral Elf for Spelljammer. I realized I thought that was an Astral Elf only thing.
Yeah, monsters of the multiverse, they can choose any tool or weapon to be proficient in. Any 2 tools or weapons at the beginning of a long rest.
After a long rest, yeah.
Nice.
It replaces elven tool weapon training or whatever, because they don't have the weapon training anymore.
Is this from Mordenkainen's? Monsters of the Multiverse has changed? Okay. Yep. I really should crack that book at some point and really dive into all the changes.
A lot of them are pretty basic.
Yeah. I'm not against the changes and everything, but yeah, I just haven't gotten a chance to get in there and really look at them yet.
Like I know a lot more people allow Yuan-Ti now because they're only resistant to poison, and their magic resistance was nerfed.
What was it?
Yeah,
I remember.
I
remember
it was
playing Tomb of Annihilation. Without giving away any spoilers, you have a certain set of situations that can have you turning into a Yuan-Ti, and like the number one criticism about that campaign is that I keep hearing like there is literally no one that wouldn't want this, like except for flavor reasons.
Now Grung and Satyr's top tier now.
I heard the Satyr's got a good buff.
Well, all creatures that have an unarmed strike got a buff because it's D4 to a D6 now. But satyrs in general, because they're fey, are immune to a lot of things that target humanoids, and they have magic resistance.
Nice.
So you said Bill's gives proficiency in any skill or tool for 1 hour, correct?
Correct.
Okay, I was just gonna message him really quick, just so he knows.
Yeah, I wrote it down in my campaign notes as well, so I remember to tell him. So
speaking of Bill, as you're all driving across the plains, you would have looked out at some point and looked out ahead and seen an endless sea of that yellow-orange dust as far as you could see. At one point, Bill would turn back to shout something to all of you, something along the lines of how fucking boring this drive is. And when he turns back, he would shout an obscenity at the top of his lungs and slam on the brakes, sending everybody flying forward, gear and equipment tossed about the cabin of Sprinkles all over the place as Bill goes from probably a good 70 miles per hour or 80 even, just maxing out this machine to a full stop over a very short distance, just screeching, dust flying up everywhere. You're all enveloped in this massive dust cloud. As it starts to settle, you finally come to a stop, and out in front of you, the Wandering Emporium has simply appeared. They're gone, not there 1 minute, right smack dab in the middle of the roadway the next.
Lovely.
Actually, question. Something I wanted to actually do on the thing while we were driving.
Yeah.
I have my unpurified, what I call them, my contaminated potions of growth, that I wanted to decontaminate a little bit.
Okay.
They're Yeah. I thought the deck save was funny.
Nice.
Yeah, so I wanted to try and decontaminate them so they don't, like, what's that one Ravnica race to you where you get, like, crab claws or something?
Oh, the hybrid.
Simic
hybrid.
Yeah, they simic before they simic hybrid you.
Nice. It's a super underrated race. But I digress. All right.
Yes.
Kroll and Valifon are flat on their faces somewhere in the cabin of Sprinkles.
Yes. Bill, you nincompoop.
I grabbed a table that was mounted to the ground.
All right. So, Bill would
what
drive off
be?
Sprinkles off to the parking area along with the other various war machines that are parked and set y'all in park.
Oh, we have some salamanders to talk to.
Where
Oh
is it?
yes, there's so many things here. Okay,
There's
excited.
a lot going on here. All right. So, as you all disembark from Sprinkles and begin making your way into the Wandering Emporium, sounds of people conversing and otherwise just going about their business reaches you as you get pretty close to the front gates. And just as you walk through, passing by those old familiar signs that you have now gotten a better chance to read and examine, you see the familiar face of Mahadi. Standing
Mahadi's
just
out front?
outside. He is standing just inside the gates, leaning against one of the tent poles, smoking a lavishly oversized pipe. And he would say, "Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. It is wonderful to have you again. I just had a feeling that you all would need our services now. And not to mention the fact our vendors have arrived. We have a pair of new vendors here for you all. We have Shaza, our tattoo artist, summoned here from a far, far, far away world just for you all. And we also have... Kidnap is a strong word. Let's just simply say that she is indebted to myself and the Emporium. Her tent is just in the back to the left of Infernal Rapture. And I do encourage you to head on in there whenever you get the chance. We have delectable food at a very reasonable price. We also have a librarian, a bookseller, a seller of books, very willing to sell his books. He is most certainly not threatened to sell his wares at all whatsoever.
Lovely. And where would we find him?
John's is just next to the salamanders.
I have business with the salamanders, so that is convenient. I'm glad to see you doing well, my lord.
And we are so very, very thrilled to see you doing well as well. Now,
How forthright and honest is he seeming?
make an insight check.
He seems a bit over the top happy to see us.
And make an insight check.
Lamau.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just seems happy to see y'all. So yeah, and as he's finishing up with all, not finishing up, as he's finishing up talking to all of you, letting you know that the new services that arrive, he's like, I would very much love to accompany you all on your journeys through my wonderful establishments today. Would you mind a little company?
By all means.
Wonderful, wonderful. So, where are we going to be And as he's saying that, he flicks up his hand, and you see like this glob of ichor just splash against an invisible wall, like right in front of him. And you see over at Ichor's Away, the wizard is literally flailing his tentacle arms around, and he's got potions in his hand. He seems to have lost control of his tentacles.
Ooh.
Lovely. We go this way.
So as you're moving, Mahadi begins to just converse with all of you, generally talking and asking about your ventures up till present and all of that good stuff. We're gonna just have Bill go and get a shave and a haircut over at Bernie's. But yes, so conversing with you, how did all of you come together to meet?
Well.
Ah, yes, I've been keeping my eye on things going on over there. Things are not going well for a royal highness in hell. Things are not going well for her at all. Although, don't tell her that unless you want your skull caved in, of course.
I would not, what's the word I'm looking for? Offer her any advice or news, if I can help it.
A wise choice indeed. And this wonderful little creature, how did you meet her? Lulu kind of flies around to be behind a couple of you.
Chance.
How did you come into possession of such a wonderful creature?
Chance. Fate. Our paths were destined by the stars.
I see. And what of her future before she met with the lot of you?
That would be her past.
And what was her past before meeting all of you? I am very curious. She is a rather unique creature.
That she is. That is her story to tell, not mine.
I see. So, hasn't told you much of where she's been, what she's done?
Enough. But again, confidences.
Well,
So, we saw somebody along our journeys that I believe you know.
so have you now?
Yes. A rather lovely mage by the name of Feanor.
Make an insight check, Balafon.
Oops.
Says you've met Feanor.
Yes, it is.
Did she say anything about me?
Um,
Anything about
Did she
our
say-
time together?
Anicola, did she say? I mean, are we? You mentioned her to us before, and we just happened to meet her as we were traveling, and just did some minor bartering.
Did she say anything?
Anicola, do you remember if she said anything
about
Mahani?
me, about our time together, about how she came into the Nine Hells, how I rescued her from a terrible any of this?
Honestly, completely forget ever meeting her. I'm not good with faces or names.
You would remember this woman if you met her, I assure you.
Oh, I remember. She was captivating is the word I would use.
Indeed, I would be inclined to agree. Which direction was the last direction in which you saw her?
We were halfway between, the Titan's grave, Uldrak, I believe he was, and the Shrine of Tiamat.
Indeed, thank you. You all are so very welcome here. I'm afraid I must be going. Jezebel! She swoops down next to him. Yes, sir. See that our guests receive a free complimentary meal at Infernal Rapture, as well as a complimentary massage if they would like it. And he looks towards you all. It would be terribly tragic if you were to leave here before my return. He turns towards Jezebel. Terribly tragic. Until we meet again. He takes a step back. You hear him muttering the incantations of a spell. And he vanishes through a dimension door. Jezebel now standing there alone in front of you all. Well, you must have delivered some fantastic news to him. I haven't seen him so animated in years.
Been animated since the moment we stepped in here. I was just trying to get him to leave.
Oh, well, it seems that you've succeeded, and in his good graces as well.
Apparently. Well, I believe we have some salamanders to speak with.
Since Bill went off on his own, Anna sent her Tressum after him to make sure he's all right.
All right, cool.
Gonna be curious to see how that interacts.
Yeah. So the Tressum can see invisibility, correct?
Yes, actually.
Any
Yeah,
other
they can see
unique abilities of a Tressum that I should be aware of, other than the fact that they can see invisibility? Poison, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
oh,
Keen smell, poison sense. Okay, cool.
yep. Also telepathy with me.
Okay. Alright. What's your
And
Tressum's
obviously-
name again? Oh, it's not Slobberchops is back in the tower. Who's this Tressum? Is it just your familiar?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, their name is Tressum. Tressum the Tressum.
Nice, awesome.
Trust him to trust him.
I have a cousin who once had a cat, and they were named Mr. Orange and Mr. White, and their names were Cat Orange and Cat White. So Mr. Orange and Mr. White was short for Cat White and Cat Orange.
Their name is spelled like that,
Nice.
with an I. It's like when you name cat with a K.
Nice. Okay. Your telepath, your Tressum would send back that Bernie smells funny, while it is still within the range of Bernie.
Interesting. Anyway, we have business to attend to with salamanders and tattoo artists.
Booksellers.
Where are y'all headed?
To Firesnake Forge.
There we go. Okay. So, as you all arrive, the salamanders are in there, quite busy, as per usual. And when they notice you, the one in the front, known as Rush, turns to face you all and gestures out and welcomes you all back to the forge in his, I believe they speak primordial. And clearly recognizing you, it's only been a handful of days that you all have been gone. But all of your requisitions are here. One of Bill's, I believe he wanted his bracers of defense first, so those are here for him. What else did you all requisition while you were away?
Iron Stone of Agility. And I had already paid for it.
Okay. Yeah, all of your requisitions are here. So, Valifon, your Ion Stone is here. You can go ahead and drag that in from the compendium.
Or add it from D&D Beyond.
Yep, there you go.
All right. I got 2 main things,
Okay.
and neither of them are like in the.
Sorry, Anna, you're breaking up again. Neither of them are what?
Oh, neither of them are in the sane magic.
Okay, what were the items you were looking for?
So like I put like a little bit more.
Breaking up again there, Anna.
Magic purposes, so I had questions about them. So there was the Eldritch Claw Tattoo, which is
right.
like +1 to hit, and then it also has a special thing once per day.
Right.
And then there was the Insignia of Claude.
Okay. So. Alright, so is there anything else here at the Forge that you all are picking up right now? Anna, your stuff with the tattoo artist will be next to Infernal Rapture whenever you want to head over there. You're more than welcome to. And Valifon, your bookseller, is just behind you, actually, in a stall erected right here.
I would head over there.
Okay. Kroll, was there anything from the Firesnake Forge that you were picking up? Any requisitioned items?
No, I didn't order anything.
Okay. And
I
Bill would have
ordered,
picked up
like,
his
a
bracers of defense. Okay, so Valifon, one second.
Yeah, why don't you let others go first? I'm trying to remember what it was I was actually wanting from here.
Am I coming through clearly?
You are now, yes.
Okay, so I got an Insignia of Claws. Would that be in the Fire Snake Forge? It's like a necklace.
Yes, it would be at the Firesnake Forge.
All right. It's basically just like a +1 weapon, but like for unarmed strikes and stuff. So would it be the price of a +1 weapon, or like 2 times as much?
So essentially what this is doing is it's turning your unarmed strikes into a +1, and I remember this conversation. You want to be able to use it for your wild shapes to give your wild shape attacks +1. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, we'll just call it double the price of a +1 weapon since this was a rather unique item, and we'll just call it a day there.
All right. So that's 2 electrum pieces.
Yeah. Okay. And then, directly next to Infernal Rapture, there is not so much of a tent as much as a chair with a tarp hung over it on a pole and supported by a pole. and beneath it is a rather aggravated looking elven woman, and she is, at first glance, it doesn't appear that she has any sort of tattoos or anything like that, but as you approach, you can see that when the light hits her a certain way, her skin shimmers in the form of all kinds of different designs. Looked at certain angles and in certain light, you can see that she has intricate tattoo work all along her left arm, and it looks like coming up her neck, coming up and out of her tunic a bit. She sits in a stool, rather annoyed looking, and kind of like she's waiting for someone. Do you approach?
Yes, I'm just fixing something. Yeah, and I would approach, and sit down, and say, I get the idea. I get the feeling that you might like tattoos.
She says,
I might be wrong though.
yes, I'm sorry. I'm waiting for someone here. That damn man pulled me out of a very, very important meeting to be here. Said that there was somebody that needed some tattoo works done. He's calling up an old favor, and so here I am. Are you... I take it that you're here for a tattoo?
I am, yes.
Fantastic. And she kind of looks around, spots Jezebel, points at you, Anna. Jezebel gives a nod. She says, thank the gods. Okay, let's get this done. What are we looking at?
All right. It's gonna be an Eldritch Claw. The ink at least. And then she's going to, I guess, yeah, she'd take off her shirt, and kind of hold it in her lap, and then turn around and point to her back. We're gonna do a bear going across the whole back.
Bear, fantastic. Well, we don't need this much space, so we could put it here. So the Eldritch Claw tattoo is a uncommon. It's relatively inexpensive. She'll do the job for 1 soul coin.
Oh, okay.
She'll do the job for 1 soul coin, and the amount of surface area that's needed is rather minuscule. You could do it on the back of your palm if you wanted. If you're doing it on your back, just like upper shoulder area, just a small area.
The rest would just be regular ink then.
Cool. All right, sweet. So she'll center the magical runes of the tattoo at the center of this bear and build out around from it to cover the back.
I guess, wait, actually, it would be like, I guess it would also kind of, this is going to be a very extensive tattoo. I was thinking it could be like, never mind. It'll be 2 sleeves on either of her arms, which are like vines, going across her whole arm.
Nice.
There we go. Most of it is not going to be the actual magical part, except for the part, I guess, above her palms.
Right, so that would be the forearm. If you're doing an arm, it would just it would basically just be like one half, like the upper or bottom part of your forearm.
Yeah, then the rest would be regular ink.
Fantastic. Okay, so as you described all of this out to her, she holds out her hand for the soul coin.
She'd flick it over on her thumb.
She takes it, sets it down next to her, and it vanishes when she sets it down next to her. She's like, don't worry, it's been moved for safekeeping. Shall we begin?
Yes.
And she begins her work. It'll take her a good 2 hours or so to finish this piece. That is moving incredibly fast. She is rather talented. But
Yeah.
about 2 hours, and that piece will be done for you. So, yeah. I was thinking you were gonna go for one of like the legendary ones and like spend all your soul coins.
I mean, this is like, is there anything else that would actually? I don't think there's anything else that would actually help here, because I think these are the only 2 that actually like augment your unarmed damage or anything.
Yeah, yeah. If you're looking for specifically for unarmed damage, then definitely. Yeah. Because there's absorbing tattoos. I thought for sure somebody was going to try to go for one of those. There's barrier tattoos, blood fury tattoos, coiling grasp, the Eldritch Claw that you got, ghost step, illuminators, lifewell, masquerade, shadowfell, brand, and spell rot are the options.
Ugh.
Yeah. I could link the page if you want to check it out while she's here. The rest of you can also take a look and see if you want to get any ink while you're here.
I'm augmenting all of my popular wild shapes with +1
Nice.
damage now.
So yeah, there's those if anyone wants to take a look at them. They are expensive. They are essentially the best pricing guide that I found for the magical tattoos. Puts them at the top tier of whatever rarity they are. So, for example, this was an uncommon, so the top tier of uncommon items, so 500, and so on. So, like, a rare one would have been 5,000. Very rare, 50k. Legendary, 150k. Nice. And let me get that brown bear rolling to everyone, so it's not just rolling to me.
Oh, whoops, I didn't notice. Yeah, forgot. Brown Bear's name.
Little shaping poly. Okay.
Another cool thing is that the tattoo that I got and the necklace that I got both stack when I'm in my human-looking form. I'm not a humanoid, but my human-looking form. I get a +2 to unarmed strikes now.
Okay. Alright, nice.
Ooh.
Alright. So, you all have a free meal at Infernal Rapture whenever you're ready to head over there. Of course, you still have Zneth, the hobgoblin, who would very much like you all to murder Mahadi for him. You can write letters to other planes of existence, or buy potions of questionable quality. What would y'all like to do? Balafon, any headway on the library services that you wanted?
Sorry, I was on mute. I
Oh,
said
cool.
several things. And so yes. I would visit the bookseller. And
So he is an elderly man wearing wizardly robes, and he looks very confused. He's kind of looking around at all of his books, looks behind him, and there's just like this massive, again, an extra dimension, an extra dimensional space of just endless books behind him.
This place reminds me of the Bazaar from the Misadventures universe.
Nice.
I don't know if you're familiar with that, but
Like for Mistborn, like Brandon Sanderson?
no.
Okay.
Robert Lynn Aspirin, the Misadventures series.
Familiar.
I highly suggest it.
Yeah, go ahead and link it for me. I'm always looking for good new reads.
I will. Okay, so I would offer my apologies. I did not realize what requesting access to a bookseller from Mahadi would result in, and I apologize for the inconvenience that it has
So you're the reason
brought
I'm here.
upon you.
This is...
Apparently, my apologies.
I was just in my library, minding my own business, when this damn creature shows up, says it's time, and bam, I'm here with all of my books behind me. I don't even know how I'm going to reorganize all of this. It's quite confusing.
Where are you from?
Luskin. I hail from Luskin. My library was there.
I'm from Waterdeep originally. I've been to Luskin once or twice, but only briefly as a child with my parents.
Yeah, yes, the Tower of the Arcane is
Yes.
where I normally call home, but I appear to be
Well-
elsewhere.
You are a practitioner, I assume.
Somewhat, yes. I am limited in my abilities, hence why I was put in charge of the library.
I found myself here being Avernus.
We're in Avernus.
Yes,
Oh,
you're in probably the safest place that exists in Avernus.
it's like
Just
being in the coolest part of the campfire.
Just don't ask for anything. They'll give it to you, but there's always a price.
I've already eaten 3 meals. I got the foot rub. I got the petal flower bath. What are you talking about?
I'm so sorry. So the reason I asked for a bookseller is it's rather difficult to expand one's repertoire while traveling here, and I have urgent business and am in need of adding a couple of spells to my spellbook, and I'm hoping that you may be of assistance.
Yes,
Either-
I have a number of spell books and other books. Yes.
In particular, I am looking for a couple of fairly common things. I am looking for Dimension Door
Yes, indeed.
and Haste.
Yes, these are 2 wonderful spells. I believe I have a pair of spell books that would have this information inside. He wanders back. Turns. Yes.
And what would you charge?
This is a library, sir. We don't charge.
Well, I do not think I would have time to get them completely transferred to my own spellbook in the time that we have here.
I am unsure of the price of the value of these. I
Do you have them in scroll form?
scrolls perhaps, but I could not allow you to leave or copy the scrolls. I can't allow you to damage the property of us. And as he's going on, Jezebel comes up and puts her hand on your shoulder, Valifon. She says, "Oh yes, this is John's. It will all be taken care of. It will be deducted from your considerable debt to us." John is like, "The debt?" She says, "Yes, dear. The debt that you've incurred during your stay." She turns towards you, Valifon. She says, "Whatever the monetary cost for copying these spell books or spells into your book would be, you can simply pay to me, and we will call it even."
Fair enough.
Like, what debt? Jezebel says, "We'll discuss that later, dear. Don't worry." She turns towards you, Valifon. She says, "We've so needed a bookseller on call. Thank you for the recommendation, by the way."
You're welcome. And my eyes cross, and I feel the need to atone. I will give the bookseller a soul coin and say, this will help settle your debt as well.
So, thank you. I suppose. So as far
Now-
as the cost for copying your spells goes, let's go ahead and figure out how much in materials it would cost to do so and how much in time it would cost. Do you have the prices for that handy?
I'm looking it up. $50 gold pieces per level.
Okay.
So that'd be 7 levels total. So 350?
Okay. Isabel would just take a single soul coin for him.
And then I would go in search of Bill, because I remember Bill getting a very nice shave last time I was here, and I couldn't remember where he got it done, and I am dying of curiosity.
Okay.
But I would not state that curiosity out loud.
Okay.
Trasim would still be with Bill.
Trasim, nice. Alright. Okay. So, as you're wandering through, you would see... As you're wandering through, you would be wandering into... This Bernie's place is so weird. But you would eventually stumble within walking distance, within a few feet of this tent, and you would see Bill just getting up from a shave, fixing his suit jacket, adjusting his hat, and walking away looking rather dapper, while the woman who just completed the shave kind of gestures towards you. She says, "Shall you?"
I don't need a shave. I don't actually grow a beard, but my hair could use a touch up. And
Absolutely. Have a seat and we'll get you taken care of.
we'll do so.
So while you're getting your haircut, she's telling you all kinds of wild stories. A lot of them sound completely made up. She talks about, like, a couple hundred years ago, how she was doing battle with this giant lord in his keep and ended up defeating him and much of his retinue. Tales like that, just over the top, crazy stuff.
A barber doing battle with a giant.
Oh, I do enjoy telling stories, you know. This sounds better when I say I did the things.
Don't like 50% of adventurers settle down to become barkeeps or something.
Yeah, eventually.
Not too far-fetched.
So how does somebody as seemingly nice as you end up in a place like this?
So, it's my job. Somebody's gotta keep an eye on things around here.
I thought that was what Mahadi did.
Somebody needs to keep an eye on Mahadi.
I see. And for whom, if I may ask?
Oh. Somebody important. Let's just say that he wants to keep a close eye on the things that go on here, and one individual in particular. You haven't. Valifon, where is the Orb of Dragonkind at the moment? Is it visible in any way?
It is absolutely visible. It's hanging like in a little net pouch on my belt because I'm attuned to it, so I don't think I could just like put it away and hide it.
Okay. So she would say that she would look down and she says, especially when it comes to things like that, he is very interested in how you came across that. Had a interesting meeting while you were away, did you?
Did have an interesting meeting with a very large individual. Very big sword.
No. That's not who I'm talking about.
Well, that's who had this. But I think you're more curious about somebody else.
She nods. And how is the former queen doing?
I didn't speak with her, but only with her mouthpiece.
At that point, she would be just about done with your hair. She would take a step back and she says, "Wonderful. You look amazing. Now, be careful around Mahadi. He is a jealous man.
I gathered. He seemed all too eager to have us back here, more so than a normal businessman would be. He was very inquisitive of our little flying friend here. I brought up a topic trying to distract him, and I think I may have got him overstimulated.
She nods.
He said something about us not being allowed to leave until he returns.
Oh. Well, did you agree to not leave before he returns?
I did not.
That's probably for the best.
And definitely have business elsewhere. We were offered free services at Infernal Rapture. Are they safe?
Well, nothing is free here.
No.
However, if Mahadi did offer you something for free, he must very much want you to stay here. If he offered it to you for free, then it will be free of any monetary charge.
Right, but he will expect us. And he will expect favors later, as I assumed. Thank you. That is what I was assuming, but I wanted to be sure.
Will you keep those in mind now?
What was that?
He says, will you keep this in mind now? These things that I told you.
Absolutely. And I feel you and I may need to speak again at a later date once my urgent business in Avernus is dealt with.
She nods.
While I think my companions intend to leave, and for good reason, I think that I can accomplish more here than I could back in Baldur's Gate or Waterdeep.
She nods and says, perhaps you could.
What do I owe you?
She says, oh, nothing. Your conversation was more than enough payment.
It was a pleasure, and I hope to speak with you again.
Well, I'm sure you will.
Maybe we can exchange tales of great battles.
She nods. And as you're going, she reaches out and puts a hand on your shoulder. Says, and remember, be wary of Mahadi. He is a jealous man. Balafon, as you walk away, forgetting the location of the tent, everything else, the only thing that you hear in your mind is on repeat. Whenever you think or try to think about the experience you just had, is the words, be wary of Mahadi. He is a jealous man.
Yep. Okay. Crawl, what are you up to?
I'm just wandering the Emporium, just keeping an eye out. I really don't have much to spend, so or need to get anything. So yeah, I'm just keeping an eye out, making sure that everything's okay.
How would Trasim leaving and me having looked through their eyes for a portion of time work? So does Trasim just forget, but I don't?
So yeah, so you being able to see through your eyes, you would have seen this barber and everything, but as soon as Trasim leaves that dozen or so feet away from Bernie's barber, Tressum would forget, and Anacola, you would remember it as this kind of weird, foggy memory. Like, you know something was there. Like, it's kind of like when you're thinking of the name or like an actor or a movie or something like that. You know it, but you can't quite put your finger on it. That is the kind of sensation that you'd be getting from trying to remember what Tressum saw.
Alright. Weird. So, like, would I remember the content of what happened, but not, like, where it happened or, like, with who?
I would say that you would remember that there was a warning involved.
Because that's what she wants people to remember.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't necessarily specific to you, but that is something that she allowed somebody to remember as they were leaving. So I feel like that's what you would be getting. Just like the vague idea that a warning was involved in what she was saying, and that something did happen while Tressum was there. It's kind of like a hole in your memory that you can just see like the outlines of.
How
Okay.
many attunement slots is everyone using so far?
Oh, all of mine, and I actually am swapping one out.
I'm using 2.
I'm just about using all 3 of mine, and sadly I can't use any of my magic instruments anymore. Almost all of them are attunement,
Yeah.
and they are not
But-
useful at all.
But I'm assuming that I'm going to be able to get rid of one of my attuned items soon,
Why so?
because I think I'm delivering one of them to Bell.
Oh, the dragon one.
Yep. So, but right now I am going to be attuned to my new Iron Stone that is circling my head, and not attuned to my wand of the War Mage. So I would find the rest of my companions. But before I do that, I realized I have something that I'm going to go back to the bookseller, and I'm going to give him a scroll of Wall of Fire, as an apology for what has happened to him, to add to his collection.
He's looking down. He's like, oh, yes, thank you. And you see him. He's got like a plate of food in his hand, and he's just like, it looks delicious. It's like a large like noodle bowl, and he's
If
just,
you keep ordering food here, you will never leave.
oh, that wonderful red-winged woman just brought this bowl by and said that it was delicious and I should try it, and it was quite good. It's quite delicious.
Everything has a price.
I know how shops work, son. Continues eating.
When I stay, and guys, we need to leave.
Trasim would sail by the bookseller, and drop off a couple of good berries. They'll only last for like 1 day, but
Right.
he won't have to eat for at least 1 day. So there he goes.
So, Balafon, as you say the words, "we need to leave," you would turn around and Jezebel would be standing right behind you, just like on cue as she does. She's, "Oh, but you haven't eaten yet. A meal at the Infernal Rapture is not to be passed up, especially on the house one."
Is anything here truly on the house?
Well, you see, under normal circumstances, no, but Mahadi has requested that you all receive a free meal, and so you will receive one, without any strings attached.
Yes.
It would
But
appear
we
that
have business.
you have business elsewhere, and
Yes.
what business might that be that is more important than an offer to dine in the greatest of establishments on the entirety of the plane?
An audience with Lord Bell?
Ah. And does
We
our...
don't want to keep him waiting.
I'm sure you don't. And I'm sure that our beloved and adored Archduke is well aware of the meeting that is to take place, yes? Well, of course she is. I mean, any meeting between a group of renowned adventurers gaining so much notoriety of the plains, a group of your notoriety, meeting with her second in command, her right hand, that's surely something that she's already aware of, yes?
I'm sure he keeps her well informed as to all of his business.
And perhaps...
As a true second should.
Indeed, I'm sure he is. But since I'm going to have so much more time on my hands, while I would normally be treating you all to dinner, it certainly wouldn't hurt if I was to extend just a courtesy notice to our Lord Zariel, informing her of your intent.
Maybe just dessert.
She would look towards Kroll and Anacola to see how they react to this.
Yeah, maybe just a little something.
Sorry. I totally missed what you just said.
Basically, Jezebel, seeing that you all were about to try and leave, has politely informed you that if you all were to leave early before finishing your meal, that she would be so bored with so little to do that she would have nothing else to do other than to inform Zariel of your meeting with Bell.
Because I was stupid and mentioned Bell.
Got it.
She's basically blackmailing you, saying
Yeah.
if you do not stay, I
Yeah.
will tell Zariel what you're doing.
I guess we have no choice. Let's go.
I had two choices there. That's agree to at least something at Infernal Rapture or commit murder. What's that interaction?
Well, our souls would get bound here forever.
Oh, yeah.
Also,
Good point.
that's what I was thinking about that. What were the...
Thank you.
Could I actually, real quick, just gonna run over and read the fine print of that rule, by the way.
Okay.
Is it like no making attack rolls against other creatures, no dealing damage to other creatures?
So,
like, what's the specifics? Can I polymorph?
So the specifics are no fighting, no spell casting, no exceptions. The fine print simply dictates the rule, what happens if you break that. Essentially, any debt that you incur while you're at the Wandering Emporium must be paid off before you can leave. Fighting, breaking the rules of any kind, trying to leave without paying, essentially breaking the rules of any kind, indentures you to the Wandering Emporium for a number of years equal to the value of time and effort put forth into subduing you, getting you back here, whatever it may be. Basically what it says is they get to decide the value of your transgression.
Mm-hmm. Also, does age work normally here? Like, does everyone, like the amount of time that someone spends here, they age that long? Or is it like...
Okay. Eliak was 23 when he arrived here. He is old as fuck now. The wizard with the tentacle arms. So yes, time does most certainly go regularly here.
Let's go have some cannolis at
I
Infernal
know there's
Rapture.
like astral plane nonsense.
Nothing like that here in Avernus.
And then there's other planes like the Feywild that affect how time works.
Right.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Good to know. I don't age anyway, so I'd be fine.
I accidentally messed up the
I forgot the rule
timeline
was
to my
blanket,
homebrew
no spell.
campaign. What's up?
Oh, sorry, continue.
Oh no, I was just saying I accidentally messed up the timeline to my homebrew campaign once, and I set the beginning of the adventure about 6 years before like this major calendar event that I wanted to happen. And so you know what I did? Sent him to the Feywild. They were gone for 2.5 days in the Feywild. They were gone for 6.5 years on the Prematerial.
Jeez.
Yeah, it was pretty great.
I love the Feywild. Oh yeah, I was saying before that I forgot that like the rule was blanket no spellcasting and not like don't attack people.
Right, yeah. Yeah, so the rule
Wonder if they would
is
distinguish
simply put, no fighting, no spellcasting, no exceptions.
I'm trying to think if they would like distinguish between spellcasting and like non-spellcasting kind of magic-y stuff.
Like using class
Like,
abilities, not using a
bullshit.
spell slot.
Like probably not, but or race abilities also not using a spell slot.
activating a feature of a artifact item in your possession.
Right.
The magic items might be pushing it, I think, but like I don't know. If I tear out my hair, I can like talk to people telepathically. I don't know if that would
Yeah.
count or not.
So you all see the rules. They are
It's interesting.
literal translations. So
Right. I mean, I'm sure anything that they considered to be offensive would be held as being breaking the rules.
Yeah.
I mean, and rules in Avernus are, you know, only as binding as the strength of the person enforcing them. Not sure how strong Mahadi is, but not sure I want to find out. But we'll have a friend of a hobgoblin if we do.
you see Zneth over there. He's just like, there's like a statue of Mahadi on top of Infernal Rapture, and he's just standing there staring at it. Just super angry face. Like,
Yes. I can't do anything about that in here. Or can I? I don't know. Cannolis, cheesecake, chocolate martini.
so. Right. So, as Jezebel leads you all towards Infernal Rapture, it's a relatively simple looking place out in the front. You know, it's got some gold trim on the canopy that goes over it, and it's just looks like it's going into the side of a large infernal war machine. But once you enter in, it's basically a tent flap, and once you enter in, you feel this rush of very pleasant smelling cool air wash over you. It's the first time that you can remember feeling comfortable since being in hell. One second. So yeah, there are several people, obviously dressed in servant garb, lined up along the inside walls of a long hallway in front of you all. As you pass, each pair standing on either side, welcome to Infernal Rapture. Welcome to Infernal Rapture. And they continue that as you go down, about 6, 7 of them. And once you're at the end of the entrance hall, it opens up into a massive tent. It could easily house a small village inside of here. The ceiling is a vaulted, beautifully deep red tent going up. A massive golden pole in the center holding the whole thing up. And there are people lounging in chaise lounges, eating all kinds of different assorted fruits. There's a couple tables around. There's various things like hookah and other just, it's just an opulent place. And Jezebel catches up to you all. She says, welcome. Now, we've all been offered a free meal, which will include appetizers, main dishes, and desserts. Of course, without any charge, no soul coins, no debt to be incurred. Your presence here is all Mahadi desires. So, shall we see you all to a table?
I guess so.
Yep.
Okay. So, you all are escorted to a private chamber off near. She walks you through the center of this place, and everyone here is just having a fantastic time. The difference between the servants and the guests is pretty clear. The guests are various fiendish varieties. A few of them appear to be travelers, much like yourselves. And the servants are all wearing just simple white sashes. And if you look closely, a thin silver collar, almost unnoticeable until you get close enough, but each of them glint along their necks as you pass by, showing their indenturement to this place. But eventually, Jezebel leads you towards the back of the tent and moves a flap off to the side and gestures you inside, and there is a very nicely set table for 4. And as Jezebel leads you all inside, she pulls up what looks like a small table at first, but she sets a cushion down on top of it for Lulu. And she presents you all with the dining menu. Says we will have somebody here to serve you shortly. Alright, so yeah, it is, as I mentioned, extremely comfortable in here. Climate controlled very well. And after a few minutes, a server approaches you all and asks what you would like for your appetizers.
These are free, correct?
I will go with the pan-fried myconid cap with garlic butter.
Nice. Valifon and Anicola?
Does it really matter?
No.
Pickled, for an appetizer, pickled vine blight salad.
The same.
Okay. So, after a few minutes, they bring your plates out for you. Kroll, well, first off, Valifon and Anicola, your 2 plates look like a noodle dish of some kind. And you can see it has been shaped into the form of a claw. So it looks like just the severed hand of some sort of creature standing on the middle of your plate. But it is very clearly vines twisted around one another, pickled quite beautifully. But Kroll, as yours approaches, it is the whole ass head of a mushroom man.
Oh, okay.
Its eyes like wide and shocked, a look of horror on his face, like ah!
I'm starting to regret my order.
I'm starting to regret ever coming here.
They massacred Papa Smurf.
Kroll, do you try it?
I don't want to let them down, so yeah, I'll try a little bit.
It is absolutely delicious. It is the
Hey.
absolute pinnacle of a sautéed mushroom cap. It is absolutely wonderful. And you're noticing for the first time it tastes full and rich, and you can feel the sustenance going into you. This is the first real food that you all have had since arriving in Avernus. Everything tastes as it should. Nothing tastes diluted or ashy as any other sustenance that you've taken. While the sustenance that you've been eating, like the good berries and your rations, have been providing you with sustenance, they have not tasted good or even as they should. It's just like this bland experience. So this is really the first time that you're tasting anything that you could qualify as good since you've arrived here. But yeah, the vine blight salad is perfect as well.
Vine blight, is that just like vines that have been blighted?
No, there's a creature called a vine blight.
Oh.
It is it's hand pickled. But again, absolutely delicious.
Oh shit. Okay, yeah, these things. Whoops.
Okay. A little while later,
Who's up for the main dish?
the main dish, the waiter comes back, removes your plates for your appetizers, and asks what you would like for your main. You don't have to give an answer, you can just order what you want to, but if anyone would like to see what any of these are actually like, you're more than welcome to let me know what you're ordering.
So, Valathon would order the boiled quippers. I would personally order the deep-fried miniature giant space hamster.
Oh no!
Yeah, I think Kroll would go for the werebore, the roasted werebore.
Okay.
Yeah, Anna's gonna go with the deep fried miniature space hamster.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, so the plates come out. The broiled. What the fuck's a quipper?
It's a
That's like a
fish.
fish.
Okay, I thought
It's
so.
like an underdark piranha.
Ah, yes,
on
yes,
steroids.
yes. So Valathon, yours comes out as one of those just perfectly presented. It's nice and crusty on top. The scale, it's still got its skin on, but it's easily liftable. It's got the teeth are still there, basically the whole fish. But yeah, and the roasted werebore looks like a wonderfully presented steak, Kroll. It's essentially just a wonderfully presented steak with greens and other such vegetables on the side, and there are two large tusks on either side of it, standing up in an arch on the plate.
We recognize them.
Oh Jesus, yeah. It's not pork, by the way? Interesting. The anatomy of were creatures is beyond me.
It's long pork.
Long pork. Yep.
And my deep fried miniature space hamster.
Your deep fried miniature space hamster comes out, and it is on a bed of just like purple cabbage and other various types of things to make it look like it's in space, like it's floating through like a nebula miasma or something along those lines. And it is a literal whole ass hamster about the size of a football on this plate, and there is a very exotic looking fruit stuffed into its mouth, and there is just like this beautiful breading all on the outside of it that looks almost like fur, but if you were to tap on it, it's a nice hard solid fried crust.
I appreciate the miniature giant space hamster.
Uh-huh.
It couldn't just be like a space hamster. Yeah, she'll eat like the head and then slide the rest off for Wait, actually no, Tristine would be at the table. She'd slide her plate over for Tristine to have some as well. The desserts.
Seasoned to perfection with rosemary, basil, thyme, and tears. I love that.
Oh, I didn't notice the tears.
Tears. Yes.
She used to find those to be like, that used to be like the defining quality of a meal. Made it so much better. Now, she doesn't like them as much. They're just...
Okay. Server comes, clears away your plates, and asks what you want for dessert.
Candied face butter eyes, just like Mother used to make.
Oh, oh right, you're a the Underdark.
I'd probably stick with the apple tart.
All right.
Yeah, she'd probably. She's gonna steal one of Valifon's phase spider eyes and then get the assortment of cheese because she wants that for the road.
Nice.
Oh yeah, the phase. She would have also seen phase spiders. They yeah, in the Feywild as well.
Okay. So yeah, all of that comes out. So Kroll, your sweet apple tart just looks like a regular old sweet apple tart. I mean, obviously it's 5-star Michelin star dining experience sweet apple tart. But the thing that's strange is that the caramel has this strange golden glittery aspect to it. It moves and changes almost on its own accord. As soon as you take your first bite, you get the sound of like a chorus of angelic voices in your ear.
Wow. That's quite the dessert. Damn.
Yeah, Valifon, your phase spider eyes are they almost look like glass eyes, but it's just like a perfectly smooth coating of candy around the outside. But they look like eyes just encased in just like almost like a little miniature globe of glass, but it's just perfectly candied sugar around them. And then the raspberry liqueur reduction drizzled over the top of them all. Is that what a stench cow looks like? Fuck yeah.
They look so cool.
That is some funky cheese. The table smells it before it even arrives at the table. It is perfect for Anicola. It's just got this wonderful funk to it. Comes on a nice little block. They pull out one of those wire cheese shears to shear off a few pieces for you. They would have to wheel up like a 60-pound block of it to the table before they start cutting chunks off for you.
Mm-hmm. And then she like keeps like gesturing for her hand for them to like keep cutting more until there's like half the block left.
They continue to do so, yeah.
Yeah, she tossed them a soul coin for their troubles.
So as you toss one of the servants a soul coin, he leaps back from it like it was on fire. He's like, "Oh, no tips, sir. No tips, thank you. Yes."
This is a fine European establishment.
Alright. She'd take it back, confused. She'll get it eventually, but two and two together.
Yeah. So he immediately goes back to his straight face. Says, "Enjoy your desserts, everyone," and turns to leave.
Does Lulu get the celestial drizzle? She like thinking it's like 4 celestials.
I feel like there's a kids menu and Lulu is ordering off of it. Like Lulu just got like the chicken fingers and a pizza.
And a strawberry milk.
Yeah, there you go.
She got the infernal chicken fingers.
Yeah, there you go.
Abyssal chicken.
Abyssal chicken fingers, yeah.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, abyssal chicken fingers. Those things are disgusting.
But tasty.
I do want to know what celestial caramel is, but at the same time, maybe I don't.
Well, it's apparently a divine experience.
Just don't ask how they got it.
Yeah, I don't want to know. I don't want to know about any of this. I mean,
Lulu might know.
The broiled quippers is the...
Lulu might know, but at the same time, maybe not. Maybe I don't want her to know either.
Protect the innocent.
Okay. It is now time for us to leave.
So as you all begin to stand, the spell would be, "Oh, are you sure that we couldn't interest you in any of our spa treatments or any of our extracurriculars?"
No, thank you.
Indeed. I suppose I can't be asking for too much now, can I? Anyways, the master should be back soon. You all have a wonderful day.
And you as well.
Thank you.
In her inventory, I decided that Anna has 6 pounds of stench cow cheese.
Nice! So as you're going, Isabel would ask if you'd like a doggy bag.
Nah.
Just Pocket's fine.
Sure.
Yeah.
Pocket.
All right, everyone. So, as you all exit from Infernal Rapture, your stomach's full and satisfied for the first time since you've arrived in Avernus. We are going to go ahead and take our break, and when we come back, you all can leave. If you wandering
Yeah.
Emporium. All right, everybody. So, welcome back once again. You still find yourselves now leaving Infernal Rapture, gathering your belongings, and preparing to make your way out. Is there anything you would all like to do in the Emporium before you depart?
Good. I'm ready to go.
How much were the potions of growth down here?
Potions of growth?
I think
Where
they're
are the potion
they're
prices?
uncommon.
So I
'Cause think his
believe
were cheap.
he just sold them for half their value because you never know if they're going to work or not. So if you pull up the
Or-
what?
Like the thing.
See, if you pull up the
It just-
PDF, you should be able to check out the potion price that you want and then cut that in half, and that'll be its gold gold piece value.
Nah, I'm lazy. I'm good.
Okay, all right. Okay. So, as you're all leaving, Jezebel is walking alongside you all, asking you questions, asking if you're sure there's nothing else that she can do, there's nothing else that you need, all of these things. And just as you're about to hit those front gates, Bahati steps out of nothing in front of you, as if he stepped out of thin air, casting Dimension Door, Teleport, whatever it may have been that he cast. He steps out of thin air and roars. Not yells, roars. And as he does, you see his teeth are sharp. Massive, massive flesh-tearing incisors. You see stripes beginning to form across his face, and his hands look odd for a moment as he steps out, and as he roars directly at you all. Trinkets! You exchanged trinkets with my love. Show it to me. Show me the bone flower she made for you. Show me the depths of her deceit.
Her deceit?
She is mine.
Then you may have her.
The way she
I hold
spoke of you all. Gifts. She gave you gifts. And you. She points towards Lulu. You. If only they knew. He looks towards you. How are her memories doing? Having trouble remembering things, is she?
What would you know of that?
Oh, what would I know? What would I know indeed? Maybe a splash or two of the waters of the Styx. Maybe the way that she got, maybe the way she lost her memories is the key to bringing them back. Shall we test it? He pulls out a
Let's
flask.
not.
Oh, but it couldn't hurt, could it? She's already lost all her memories. Lulu ducks behind you all.
I believe the rules here say no attacking.
They most certainly do. It would be a
He
pity.
gave them the
It would be a terrible, terrible pity if any of you were to lose your temper and lash out. Did I tell you the tale of how I stripped this poor being of her memories and then sold her back to Zariel? I don't think I've told you of this. How does this make you feel?
perfectly normal.
Perfectly normal. To know that I deprived this poor creature of every happiness she's ever known.
I assumed somebody did. It's good to know who
it was.
Indeed, indeed.
How many feet from the barrier are we?
Up less than 10. It's a terrible state she was in, you know. Desperate, crying for help, begging for mercy. It was a mercy that I bestowed upon her, isn't it? Tearing from her all she knew so that she was left as a blank canvas to be delivered back to her loving master's arms.
Who apparently sent her away.
Indeed. He looks right at Lulu. She couldn't bear the sight of your pathetic self in front of her. Broke her fiendish heart, it did. She couldn't stomach you. Lulu starts to cry.
Lulu, we need to leave now.
But oh, wouldn't the retribution be so sweet? So sweet to get vengeance for this poor, innocent soul that I so maliciously wronged.
Hannah's gonna, like, kick the sand in front of her to create...
If you'd like to step outside.
Shall we?
Well, I feel like we could take him. One, like, what is it, 4-on-1? All of us having all of our
I don't
abilities
think he
and
fights fair.
Oh, he wouldn't, but, like...
As much as I would love every second of spilling your blood across these Avernian sands, it would be far sweeter to have you as a server in Infernal Rapture. So, until we meet again, I just wish that you remember who so damaged your friend, and where I am should you ever feel the need to make up for it.
Alright, bye. Then grab Lulu by the hoof and, like, run away. Or foot, I don't know what elephants are.
I feel like I need to follow the advice of all lawyers to anybody getting arrested. Am I free to go?
Of course, I cannot keep you here against your will. Just think twice the next time you decide to step foot into any of my establishments. I will be seeing you all again, believe that.
I meant no disrespect to you.
Oh, but you did disrespect me the second you tried to put yourself between me and the woman I love.
Alright.
I can see there is no convincing you that all we did was speak friendly. Maybe you should consider that as a tactic.
As soon as you say speak friendly, like the veins on his neck just start to bulge. Rationality is out the door for this man.
I'm sure. Yeah, we leave.
Okay. As you leave, you can hear his breathing begin to just like become louder and more aggressive. Anyone that looks behind would see a 10-foot tall Rakshasa seething as you all leave.
Lovely.
I tried to think of a spell I could get at some point, which could, like, destroy this entire place. Unfortunately, I will not get one.
I gotta separate for just a second, bro. Back.
Okay. All right, everyone. So, Kroll, Anacola, as you, Bill, and Valifon make your way back to Sprinkles. Yeah, as before, your vehicle has been untampered with. Nothing is out of sorts. The area around the One Ring Emporium especially its parking areas, are also under the protection of the place. So yeah.
When we got there, Anna would attempt to console Lulu, who is presumably still crying.
Oh yeah, she is very much, very, very upset. She obviously remembers nothing of what Mahadi told her, and yeah, all she knows is that she wound up wandering around in the fields of the dead in the prime material plan. That's the last thing she remembers. That was all news for Lulu. Why don't you go ahead and make a persuasion check, Anacola?
Haha.
You can do so at advantage since you've been very friendly with Lulu.
Funny joke. Oh, there we go. That's
Okay.
pretty good.
So after a few minutes of trying to console Lulu, through sniffles, she does begin to calm. And she would ask if you really think Zariel sent her away.
Oh no.
Sorry.
She would like be silent for a moment and then very slowly inch her head up and down. Nodding.
She would sniff. Like, she already knew this, but she kind of shakes her head, yes. And then she would ask if you think she'd try to send her away again.
Like if they met Zariel again?
If you said that to Lulu, she would say when you meet Zariel again.
Oh, right. Um yeah, if we met her
Is Valafon privy to this conversation, or is
It's
this
just
going
that-
on in private?
no, it's just in sprinkles, like in the whatever the common area is we have with a couple tables in it.
Valafon would say, if she were so cruel as to send you away again, her and I would have words. And probably more than words.
I think it's in your best interest as well as ours that she does send you away, though. I don't think we'd want you to stay with her. That seems very, 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 very dangerous.
Lulu would say no.
She isn't.
That Zariel is gonna leave this place with you all when you leave.
All right. I'm trying to think. There's no way for us to cast ceremony. I was thinking about it. Wait.
Yeah,
Wait. That's a fun. I want to try that. Sorry.
I can cast ceremony.
Can you?
I can. What ceremony
Oh,
are you wishing to cast?
well,
Are you wishing to have done?
Well, I was thinking atonement, but I could also create a restoration, and that would probably work better. I was thinking we could try that.
Who's in need of
Zariel.
atonement?
Potentially Zariel. See if that could help her.
That would be an impressive atonement, but I would try if given the chance.
It's clearly what Lulu wants us to do. At least I think that's what her plan is.
Oh yeah, she would make it very clear that her plan is 100% to try and redeem Zariel. It's practically all she talks about.
Yeah, except here's the deal. Atonement can only be performed on the willing.
Oh, right. Okay. Greater restoration doesn't require a willing creature, so there we go. So we can.
I would say that Zariel is past what even greater restoration could probably do. Atonement is the way, but she must first be willing.
Lulu would sit up nice and tall, which for Lulu, sitting on top of the table is only about like 2.5 feet. I can do it. I can convince her.
And I have faith in you, little one. But first we need the sword.
Right. The sword.
And hopefully Bell knows where it is.
Every time we say her name, Mahadi's just gonna kill us in her sleep or something.
I mean, he does have, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 infernal war machines and an entire host of people that have to do what he says.
I'm gonna try and do something to help them as well at some point.
All right. So, you all have a good, I would say, 8 to 10 hours of travel ahead of you. What would you all like to do during your downtime?
I'm going to finish putting Vitriolic Sphere into my spellbook.
Sweet.
Carl will just sharpen his weapons, just starting to get ready for another battle, and just rest as much as he can.
Okay.
There are a couple. No, that's not gonna help. Anna would offer to spar with Kroll or Bill or both.
Oh yeah, I'll do it.
Fighting practice in you.
I feel like I'd lose if we actually mechanically.
Yeah, I was gonna say, why don't you go ahead and make some contested athletics checks, or acrobatics if you prefer, Anna.
Those are both bad.
You know what? Let's try it this way. Let's do athletics checks, but you can also add whatever other skill or ability that you'd like to, and we'll average the two numbers. So Anna, it could be a wisdom ability, and you can just explain how you're using that. Kroll, if you want to use like a tool proficiency or another skill, whatever you would like to do. Basically, roll athletics and one other skill, and we'll see what the result is.
Okay.
Kroll, you could roll athletics twice if you want. If you want to just brute force it.
No, I'll do this.
Nice. Oh.
Ouch. Yep, there we go.
So, Kroll, as you both get into your sparring stance in the wide open space of this, Kroll just throws his arms back, flexes and roars, and then charges at Anacola.
My intent was like insight to like similarly to how like wisdom goes into my armor class of like, insight next. Completely misjudged it, even though he does the same thing almost every combat.
Right.
He completely blindsided me.
Right. It's like, okay, he knows that I know that he does this every time, so there's no way that he's gonna. Oh!
When he does it at you, it's still different. When I was learning full armored combat and was like moving up in the ranks, I was going up against this one very, very experienced knight, and he had this one shot that he threw that everybody knew he threw, and almost nobody could block it. And I was fighting against him one day, and he's like, "I'm not going to throw any shot but that until you can block it." And even though I knew it was coming, it took me 27 times before I blocked it.
Jeez.
Wow.
It was that fast and that perfect of a shot.
Nice. So, Carl, every time you talk about your armored combat and everything, I always remember this meme. I'm sure you've seen this. Have you seen that before? How's the grass taste, little man?
Oh.
Yeah, I think I know where that is.
Nice.
I'm trying to see if I know that. I don't know the guy's heraldry though.
Have you seen that video before?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's like a minute of the guy just like posturing at him, and then he just charges him. The guy just shield bashes him, and you just hear him yell, "How's the grass taste, little man?" It's the greatest fucking thing ever.
Yeah, it was staged because we don't actually allow shield bashing. Now sometimes you get flattened by somebody's shield because you yourself run into it, which that's mostly what's happening there.
Yeah.
But
God, I love that so much every time. It's like it's one of those memes where if I need to laugh, I just pull it up and just give a quick chuckle and move on.
Yep. The guy that got knocked down was actually trying to get into position to hit the guy in the back of the head.
Nice. See that.
After Anna lost miserably, she would mumble about how Kroll was lucky she was restraining herself by not using any magic.
Oh. Where is it we're going?
So, Valifon, as you ask that, Bill would point over and be like, probably there, as the peak, the caldera of a massive volcano, a gargantuan volcano, peaks up over the horizon and begins to dominate the field of view in front of you. A gargantuan volcano.
Is that here?
Indeed. So, let's see. Is there anywhere else I can mark off of this? Archon's Tower, Monument, and now Bell's Forge.
I was right. It is a forge. All volcanoes are forges.
All volcanoes are forges. That totally tracks. I mean, it makes sense. If you have such a massive heat source in a fantasy setting, why wouldn't you put that to use, right?
Started with Hephaestus.
Yep. And then Mount Doom.
All right. So, there are clouds of fire and ash spewing from the caldera. The air trembles with its rumbling as you grow closer. You can see a vast multi-layered fortress has been hewed into the volcano's rocky slopes, and as you all approach, you see a massive army displayed around the base of the forge. Thousands, if not, well, let's go ahead and have you guys all make perception or investigation checks as you approach. Okay. There are between 8 and 10,000 fiends lined up in orderly ranks for the most part. Some of them are spread out, but there is a veritable army here. To put that into comparison, this army is about half the size of the entire force that Zariel had arrayed against Elturel and the fiends, the demons that began pouring out of the river. You get the idea that this force could probably turn the tide of that battle had they been there, or if they were there.
But they're not.
On a scale of like imp to what is the white devil that we fought that one time? On a scale of like
Abishai.
Oh, that was a bone devil.
Oh, Bone Devil, yes.
On a scale of imp to bone devil, what are these guys looking like?
They are all over the gamut. Around the base, you see mostly spine devils and barbed devils, the green boys and the purple boys. You see mostly those around the base, but you can see some massive creatures flying around overhead, possibly a pit fiend or two.
I imagine there's a lot of bearded devils.
Legions of bearded devils. You can actually see them with their green and purple offsetting one another. They're easy to spot. There is legions of hundreds of them marching, doing drills around the front of the forge.
That just reminded me to level up my hit points. I forgot to do that.
Oh. I believe we have a flag that says parlay.
Yeah, you have that. You have that token that Rosala made you.
Yeah. And also the signal flags on the Infernal War machines.
Ah, right. Yep, you do in fact have those. Okay, so how exactly are you all approaching?
I mean, we have a letter of introduction. Openly, I assume?
You have a seal. So it's basically a infernal iron crest about the size of an actual shield that Rosala made for you.
Right. as far as I'm concerned, I mean, I consider that a letter of introduction. So.
Okay, so how exactly are you displaying that?
On the
Hang it off the front of the machine.
wrinkles, yeah.
So, as you're all approaching, with that seal on the front of your vehicle, the legions of fiends do begin to part in front of you. At first, as you make your way through the first ranks, they part without a second glance. They see the seal, they immediately move. As you get further in, though, you're noticing that you're having to slow down as other fiends are... Well, do you slow down, I should say, as some of the fiends don't get out of your way quite as quickly, stopping to inspect the seal, look at the flags, look at you all before moving out of your way.
Well, since Bill's not here to say no, I just hit the gas. Yes, we slow down.
Right. Oh, I was actually thinking about that earlier. How would Bill have responded to Mahadi basically saying that he ruined Lulu's life? Like, that would have been an interest. I'm interested to see how Bill might have reacted to that. But
Yeah. Alphon's just plotting.
Yeah. Okay. So
There may not be a wandering bazaar when all this is done.
Okay. So they're beginning to slowly part in front of you. And as you're down here, you do manage to get all the way up to the base of the fortress. And you can see that stairs are carved into the roads. This is as far as Sprinkles goes, the base of the volcano.
I assumed. Shall we?
Yep.
Everybody be on your best behavior.
One note about our car, by the way. Our whatever it is, our war machine. It wouldn't leave any tracks no matter where we go.
Okay, cool. Why? Okay, cool.
This is why. Yeah, so like it can't be tracked unless someone is like divining us. Just thought that was important to know because Mahadi might be after our asses.
Okay.
So yeah.
Yeah, I don't. It is a little wonky because it says the creature and the
Creature.
vehicle doesn't really apply to that. But if you all want to say that you were doing your best to cover your tracks, then we can go ahead. And you were casting this the entire time that you were going, like once an hour during your trip. Then we'll say that that would effectively do it. Using a second level spell slot once an hour for the entirety of the journey definitely deserves a payoff. So.
Well, it is an at-will spell that I have.
Oh well, shit.
Yeah.
No, still.
You have an at will?
Yeah, I forgot about that. It's the Staff of the Woodlands. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's always active.
Yeah, I just love giving my players magic items. Yes, I do. It's something that I love doing and never ever regret ever.
Yeah.
It's totally fine.
At will, pass without trace. Holy.
Hey, check this out. I gave that to a level 5 PC in my first homebrew campaign. At least I waited 5 levels this time.
Yeah, like what was it? I mentioned it when I got it. It was like, wow, this is going to be the most powerful aspect of it.
Yep. And I thoroughly looked over the entire text of it, and I'm like, yep, this is fine. And I still think it is.
I mean, it's still just a second level spell. It's just that that's a spell that that could easily be spammed.
Yeah.
No, yeah, it is. Unless I'm focusing
it is, right?
on
Yeah.
unless I'm focusing on a combat spell, that's always active.
Nice. Okay. Cool. So that's a good assumption for us to be running under. If you are not actively concentrating on something else, you are concentrating on Pass Without a Trace. Good stuff. So yeah, that definitely helps keep your track covered. I'll say that whenever you're moving in your vehicles, your speed will be reduced slightly whenever you're trying to do Pass Without a Trace and move without being trackable that way. But that's really it.
Right.
Maybe instead of moving like 24 miles in a day, you can move like 20 or something. But here, that doesn't really matter anyways. So you get there when you get there.
Yep.
So cool.
Lulu, do you want to stay here or do you want to come with us?
There are about 24 fiends just looking in the windows at Lulu curiously, and some of them are licking their chops. So I think I'll
you're
go
coming
with
with
you
us.
guys. So the door to Sprinkles is rather crowded. Trying to open it, a few fiends have to kind of back up and out of the way. And as soon as the first of you steps out of the vehicle, a individual roughly the size of a large human male steps out in front of you all, covered head to toe in chains. Some of them appear to be even barbed chains digging into his skin, a few of them covering his face, almost like a mask. You can see them kind of writhing and moving, almost of their own accord. He steps, state your business here!
We've come to speak with Lord Bell. We bring this seal and a gift.
He looks around. Very well. You may pass. I should assume that it goes without saying. We will utterly destroy you if you do anything funny.
Surely we could never harm somebody as powerful as Bell.
Clearly.
Like funny? Like if I make a joke that's like too good, then like that's over. It's all over.
He just shoots you a glance.
I don't think they have much of a sense of humor, Anna.
His chains like coil around him just a little tighter.
I feel like
I
Luke
think you're
Skywalker showing up at Jabba's palace.
I thought you just said he just shoots you.
He
And I
just
was like,
shoots you. Right. Roll a con
I-
save. Disintegration. 9th level.
Yeah.
Alright. So he stands out of your way and gestures you past onto the stairwell, onto the staircase that just appears to go straight up into the side of the volcano.
No elevator? Okay. Up we go.
So, your journey up the mountain would go much along those same lines for quite a while. The farther up you go, the more relaxed these devils seem to be, but by that I mean they are just not marching in ordered ranks or anything like that. Some of them are just like chilling on rock ledges, things like that. They all kind of gesture towards you as you pass and snicker amongst themselves. A few of them make like gnawing gestures, like they're eating a chicken leg or something like that, pointing at you all. But for the most part, you pass without being interrupted or anything. Every now and then, a group of barbed devils or other mid-tier fiends will stand in your way, look you up and down, look at your crest, and then step out of the way. You can tell that they are just itching to fight you, but the seal that you carry grants you a bit of authority here. Now, after maybe about an hour of climbing up this mountain, essentially, up these stairs, the caldera is in sight. But as you reach the peak of the volcano, there's a large open space. There are a lot of fiends here, like a decent amount. You see an Avernus swoop in and land, and then kind of sit against a rock face, templing her fingers as she's watching you curiously. And there's a good 24 bearded devils all just lounging around, a couple more of those figures wrapped in chains. They're all just conversing amongst each other. They see you. They all kind of glance down as you make your way to this open area near the top of the volcano. Most of them kind of just give a shrug and move on. The Arinya is still just watching you. And this is when a creature standing about 15 feet tall lands directly in front of you out of the air. Massive leathery wings and a pair of curved horns, almost reminiscent of ram's horns in front of you. Like, stop! You will go no further.
We stop?
Hi.
Greetings. What shall I tell Bell I have brought these prisoners to his attention for? Go on now, put out your hands. You may manacle them before I present you to our Lord Bell.
We are not prisoners.
Oh, but you are. You all are my prisoners. Perception checks from everyone, please. Good stuff.
Hey.
The other devils have all very pointedly turned and are looking away and kind of like very, very pointedly conversing among themselves and not paying any attention to what's going on here. Everyone except for the Avernus, who has leaned up against the rock and is watching rather interestedly. Well then, present your hands, or shall I be taking corpses before Bell?
You may test that hypothesis at your convenience.
Best.
I will not be chained.
So, it says, corpses it is then. Roll initiative.
Oh, that's a lot. Four. Ah,
I only have advantage on all initiative rolls, and I rolled 2 12s.
Oh no. All right. Oh, bummer. His roll was not any better than anyone else's. Don't worry, everyone. Okay, so we still need Anna, and I'll roll for Bill.
Sorry, I just got back.
No worries.
And
Oh.
sorry, I think I'm gonna pick the fight.
Right, I didn't realize you weren't there for that, Foster. This guy basically just showed up. What was the last thing you were here for?
He was telling us to hold out our hands.
Okay, cool. That's all you needed. Okay, let's go ahead and get Bill's hit points back up to max.
Ooh. I recently got a really fun AoE spell, so I'm excited.
And of course, Miss Lulu. Okay. All right.
How many of these guys look like they can fly?
As far as you can tell, just the Avernus. Oh, Anicola, did you get the part where the rest of them are utterly uninterested in what's going on here? In fact, intentionally trying not to notice?
Oh, okay, yeah, I did get that. I just
Okay.
did, okay.
The Avernus.
I didn't know that changed.
The woman. No, they are. They are the everybody except for the winged fiend that just landed to observe you all approach. She's the only one that's still watching. Everyone else is kind of very intently not paying attention to this horned devil that's just confronted you all.
Yeah, and she and the Avernus is like pulling out popcorn from what I can tell.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay. All right. Does anybody want to run Bill, or shall I?
At it.
Okay. Oi. Really need to get the more exciting fight song up first. Put that first in the list.
So, like, do we
There we go.
want to fight this guy, or do we want to turn him into like a bunny rabbit or something and
Ah!
keep him with us?
Present him as a bunny rabbit to Bell.
Okay.
What is it?
Well, Either way, Bill is up first, and I think we all know what he's going to do. He's going to rush at this guy and try to grapple him. Test athletics checks. Okay. Okay. So, Bill rushes up, grabs a hold of him, and has him quite thoroughly grappled. And what do you think Bill would do? Would he cleaver him next, or try to push him down?
He usually cleavers him.
Okay.
Or fillet knife him. Which, yeah, oh yeah, he has the cleaver, the scimitar speed now, so yeah.
Okay, Valifon.
So we'll start off with bonus action Blade Song. And then I am going to cast Summon Fae at 4th level.
Nice.
Raven, you are needed. Now I have to find him. He's on here. There he is.
Is he not? Looks like I need to reset my...
Yep, I don't have control of him.
That's weird.
I haven't used Raven in a while.
You should have control of him. Can be edited and controlled by Valifon.
I can't even select him.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm a measure.
Okay, that'll do it.
There he goes.
But
I got him
still
now.
don't know why he doesn't have his HP.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Because he definitely should have 133.
He should have 40. Yeah, he should have 40 out of 40.
Okay. What's his AC?
AC 16.
16. Okay, I have his AC and his HP set up. Everything else you can do through D&D Beyond, right?
I usually do it through the token actions when I use the Fae.
Are his token actions still reliable right now?
Let's find out.
Because something seems to have gone wrong with his stat block.
Yes, token actions are correct.
Okay, cool.
And so he will face step to here. And if it's okay, I'm just going to take that what I just rolled for a short sword because I was planning on attacking.
Sounds good.
So that will be 14 piercing and 4 force.
All right. Yep.
And then he attacks again.
Yep.
For another 20.
All right.
And Devon Star will fly up and do a flyby help action. And I'm going to move to here. Next.
It appears that planned bunny is out the window, so
No, not necessarily.
you know, instead, do we want? Okay. I assume because you were getting into combat stuff, we wouldn't want to shut it down so quick. But
That's up to you. I don't care.
all right. I'm trying to think of like a form that wouldn't kill him immediately, because that's also a worry when they become too weak. So yeah, I'll go with a bunny though, because I think it's fun.
Okay. All right.
DC 16.
So, as Bill has him grappled, he looks around in a quick. The Horned Devil looks around in a quick panic as he locks eyes with Anacola, just as his nose turns into a little bunny nose for a moment. And let's go ahead and make his saving throw and see if he can resist. What's the DC? 16?
16.
And it is
Biz save.
Wiz? Okay.
Yeah. And he has magic resistance, I think.
Does indeed. He's a big boy. All right, here it comes. DC 16 wisdom save at advantage. He succeeds, unfortunately.
No.
Yeah, he got a big old 25 on his advantage roll. So he shakes his head and his nose immediately turns back, and he lets out this powerful bellow in Anicola's direction.
Anna will. Oh, there was one last time. Just checking. Yep. She will get up to right here. And she's gonna use her bonus action to activate her Eldritch Maul.
Nice.
That is all.
Okay. Lulu charges into battle. And goes right over his head. Phineas over there continues watching. Roll.
Alright, so Crawl, first of all, will rage.
Indeed.
So we take that down. And 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, right to there. And he will attack with his Blood Axe with Great Weapon Master. And
11 does not hit.
that's not good.
10 definitely, yeah. 11 does not hit.
Okay, so we'll do it again. Great Weapon Master. Yeah. And I will use my sessional.
You don't need to use that. Yeah, you're flanking. Good.
Sorry, I always do that. I'm sorry.
No worries, no
Okay.
worries.
Alright, so I am going to also use my Orcish Fury.
Nice.
That's a D12. And I also get a Savage Attack. And I'm going to use my Superiority die to do Goading Attack. So here's what that is.
Okay.
Okay, so that
Wisdom
is a
save.
D8.
What's your DC?
15.
He does succeed with a 20.
Okay. And we'll roll.
Okay, so 20. Jeez. So 23.
23, 24, 25.
B total.
50?
Yep, exactly.
Nice. So he howls as Kroll just comes in and axes him right in the back. Just, roar! Turns around, still staring. He turns and looks at Anicola, still pissed about the attempt to turn him into a bunny, and then back at Kroll. Gonna have his work cut out for him.
And I'm gonna action surge.
Oh,
Might
shit.
as well. Okay, so I'm still raging. We'll do Great Weapon Master. Let me turn off some of these things. Alright. Oh! I never did add my Great Weapon.
Oh, so there should be a whole another 10 on top of that? Or a whole another 20?
Oh,
And it doesn't
yeah.
double on
Okay.
crits.
Sorry, I was just clicking through my things and I
No,
forgot to
you're good.
add it. I suck, I'm sorry.
You're
Okay.
fine.
So-
Good.
So we're attacking again with the Blood Axe, Great Weapon, Raging.
Really, the only way to suck at D&D is to be rude to your fellow players or DM. That is literally the only way to be not good at D&D.
17.
17. Let me check. 17 does not hit.
No. Okay.
You might want to
can I use Can I use a precision attack with that to add a D8?
I actually haven't seen precision attack used in a long time. Can you throw it up?
Yeah.
An attack roll against a creature, you can expend one superiority to add it to the roll. Use this maneuver before or after making the attack roll. Yeah, go for it. 17. A 1 will get you there, so you're good.
Okay, cool. So I just roll for. Let me make sure that I have my Orcish Sphere, not Orcish Sphere, Great Weapon Master. There we go. Okay, so there we go.
Okay, so we've got 23,
4.
24. Jeez.
Okay, and then one more attack. Blood Axe, Great Weapon Master. And then I will also do another precision attack.
Okay.
Since it's the exact same, so, and then let's do that. 3740 or 2740, yeah,
30.
30. Ah, math. Okay.
Math is hard. Right.
And that'll be it.
Okay. Well, that's it, huh? Just like 100 damage in a turn? Sure.
Yeah, that's all.
Okay, so this guy's turn is finally up, and he is most certainly bitten off more than he can chew, but he is going to first cry out, "Help me, you fools! We're under attack!" And the Arrhenius would just kind of lean back, and she would say, "It appears to me that you're the only one under attack, Bez." He would then howl in rage, and then begin swinging. So, he's got one for everyone. He's going to...
After he makes his first attack, Anna would get an attack on him.
Okay. He's going to try and stab Bill in the face with a fork. 17 to hit Bill. I think that does hit him. Yep, just barely. 17 piercing. Something is wonky with Bill's hit points, so I'm sure he does not... I'm sure he has more than 55 hit points, but...
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Because I have 65.
Right. And then he is going to swing and put another fork stab, this time towards Kroll. 16 does not hit Anna.
I hit. I want to do a riposte.
Oh wait, Anna's quarterstaff attack is the one that did not hit.
Oh, I thought you said Kroll. Okay, sorry.
Oh. Anna, how are you quarterstaff? Oh, your Eldritch Maul gives you a range of 15 feet. Hell yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And so Kroll, the fork attack against you is a 28 to hit.
Okay, yeah, that hits.
Yeah. 18 piercing.
All right, I'm raging, so that's 9.
Yeah.
Okay.
He looks shocked how little damage he just did to you. And then he's going to bring his unwielding hand up, his hand that doesn't have the big old fork in it. He's gonna raise it up into the sky. You all see fire beginning to form in it. He's gonna hurl that fire at Anna. It is only a 16 to hit you though, Anna.
That misses.
Okay. That is his whole turn. You guys are fucking this guy up. All right. Bill is going to try to knock him to the ground, or you know what? He's going to cleaver him twice. You all already have advantage. That's a hit. So is that. So Bill dishes out another 25 points. Balafon.
Yeah, so come up to here and use my rapier on him with a booming blade. So 27.
27 hits.
So 15 damage.
Okay.
And another 27 for 7. Oh, holy crap on damage, but... And then step away to there.
Okay. Anna?
Oh, sorry. I forgot
What?
Raven.
Oh, yep, go for it.
He will face step to here so that he is. It actually doesn't matter because he's got flanking. So, he gets a 26
Good hit.
for 10,
Okay.
and a crit.
Oh, nice. 10,
For-
12, 16.
Yep. There we
Okay.
go. Now it's Anacola's turn.
Oh, yep, my bad. Go ahead, Nicole.
Question: how does since I have 15-foot reach, am I flanking right now with Kroll?
No.
Okay, I didn't know how that worked. So I'll move over to here, and I think I'm flanking with Lulu now.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. Ouch. Terrible. Yeah, that's all I got, I guess.
Okay. What is that total? 16, 18, 24?
Oh. Neither of those hit.
Oh, you're right.
No, you have flanking.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Shit, my
Yeah,
bad.
move for flanking, so...
Sorry. I completely missed that. Whoops. Yeah, so that's 16. 24. Sorry about
Okay.
that.
Yeah, he's looking real rough. And Lulu! With advantage, gets a 22. And jabs her tusks into this guy, and they stick. He's flailing around, flopping around in Bill's grip, trying to get loose. And with that, you all hear a voice, the woman's voice, this time much louder, magically amplified, quite clearly magically amplified. She says, "Enough!" She hops down from her perch up there, takes a few steps forward. She says, "Bez, Bez, Bez, always sticking your nose where it doesn't belong. When will you learn? When will you learn? All of you, I would be more than happy to escort you to Bell, but I do ask that you spare this poor idiot his life." He's like down on his knees, and like Lulu's got her tusks in him, and she's like, "Ah! We will need him for the fights to come." She looks over Anacola's shoulder. "Bez, you won't be bothering these nice folks anymore now, will you?" "Get this fucking elephant off of me!" "Bez, I need to hear you say it." He would look up at you, Kroll. I won't be a problem for you all anymore."
Crow will put his blood axe away.
You weren't a problem to begin with.
All of the fiends begin laughing. All of them gathered around, just, yeah, they loved that.
I was really hoping we were gonna fight the entire group of fiends. 'Cause one, I think that would be really funny, and two, I have a spell I've been itching to use, which would get all of them. It's like a whirlpool.
Nice. Yeah, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 barbed devils, 4 bearded devils. Oh wait, 7 bearded devils, 4 barbed devils, 6 spine devils, 2 chain devils, and an Arrhenius. That would not have been a very fun fight.
It would
No.
not, but
We'd be fine. Look, I can get them in a whirlpool.
yeah, I was already trying to figure out what I could do here, and I think it wouldn't be easy, but we had a shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, you line it up, you can get a solid. I don't know how many is that. What would be a good lightning bolt shot? Maybe this.
Yeah,
Like-
forget the lightning bolt, vitriolic sphere.
Yeah, then
How
you've
big is
then you've
that?
just got the 10,000 or so more down below. No big
Well, that's
deal.
different.
But
It's to expect the whole army.
We could do it.
the Arrhenius would approach as soon as I feel like Bill would reach up and grab Lulu and like pull her tusks out of this guy's chest.
Oh yeah.
And with that, he wouldn't even fly off. He would just start walking back the way you all came. And the Arrhenius would just approach and say, Lord Bell will be very impressed that you were able to best one of his captains. So handily, I mean.
He needs better captains.
Oh, he has better captains, believe me. She gives a little smile as she walks with you. But
Off we go.
so she would lead you up the steps, and surprisingly, the steps simply end at the lip of the volcano. And looking down, it's just a 200 to 300 foot drop into what looks like molten magma down there. And it's just a staircase leading up the side of the mountain to the caldera with a nice big archway over the top of the staircase. Nothing on either side of it, above it. It is just a freestanding archway that steps out into the caldera. So she would approach and gesture you all through the arch.
I am prepared to cast Fly and step through.
Okay, so all of you watch Valithon step through the arch, and it looks like a burst of fire erupts from the arch for a brief moment, and Valithon is gone.
Oh.
I'll follow.
That's what I figured.
Yeah, same. A quick eruption of flame, and Kroll is now gone.
Whatever.
Ebonstar disappears and reappears wherever Valithon is.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'll follow too.
Okay. And Bill and Lulu will exchange quick glances and then step through themselves.
And Raven will come as well.
Okay. And with that, you all find yourselves at the top of a staircase, a rather large spiral staircase of wrought iron. A solid wall behind you. This wrought iron staircase descends into a cavernous forge. One moment, let me make sure y'all are on this real quick. Okay. So yeah, the staircase descends down into this cavernous forge area. Sorry, my computer chose the exact wrong moment to start lagging on me. Just one moment, everyone. Okay. Alright, so wrought iron staircase descends down into a cavernous forge. There are channels of bubbling lava winding through the complex, casting a fiery light over enormous anvils. There are several chained up fire giants with coal black skin and fiery orange hair, hammering out weapons under the malignant gaze of a pit fiend, seated in a flying throne. The throne that he sits on hovers a good 15 feet above the ground. Throughout the forge, sparks fall like rain, and in a booming, deep voice that resonates and overpowers even the clanging of the forge, you hear this individual call out to you. Say, "Welcome, welcome, friends. I was wondering when you would make your way here."
Love his belt.
as you say that, all the heads just let out a moan. I've been meaning to thank you personally for delivering to me my new chamber pot. I understand you are the ones who facilitated its delivery. Gargoth, the Hidden Lord, has been hammered into a bowl and sits next to Bell's Forge, next to his throne.
No. Oh wait, yes, that's a good thing. We don't like. Okay, sorry, I was. I found
That's
I thought
even
that-
better than I wanted to do to him.
As we shall have to compare notes, he has all eternity to think about his plots and pay for them. And with that, you all hear in your mind, Gargoth, help me! And we're gonna go ahead and call it a session there, everyone.
Hey.
Fair enough.